Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I hope you're doing really well. So today I thought I would share with you some new fragrances to my collection that I've absolutely been loving. Some of them are new launches, some of them are just new to my collection, some are designer, some are niche. So we've got a bit of a mix of price points in here, and as always I will link these all in the description box so you can find them really easily, and let's get straight into this. Okay, I'm gonna start off with a designer fragrance. It's such an incredible launch and I haven't mentioned it on YouTube yet, even though I have been wearing this fragrance since July. It only launched earlier this month though. It is Rabanne Million Gold for Her. Now I worked with Rabanne over on TikTok on the launch of this fragrance and I had to keep my mouth shut about it for 2 months. I've had this for 2 months before it launched. It's Rabanne's first grand floral and I honestly just feel like it was made for me. If there was a fragrance that I was going to work on the launch of, it would be this one. It is such a gorgeous mix of white florals, which you know are my favourite, with fresh rose and a mineral musk. So it has this gorgeous intoxicating quality. It smells luxurious, so feminine, so beautiful. I can't even tell you. This is such an incredible launch. This is definitely gonna go in my best launches of the year video at the end of the year, even though I've already filmed 3 of those. How many incredible launches have there been this year? I don't think I've ever experienced so many amazing fragrance launches in 1 year, but this is definitely one of them. If you haven't tried it out, definitely go and check it out. I love it so much. Also, the lighting is probably going to be really inconsistent throughout this video because the sun keeps going in and out. We just love British autumn time. Next up I have Moncler Un Soufflé de Santal Iris. This is such a gorgeous, clean, musky fragrance with a creamy quality and a powdery feel. So the creamy quality is coming from sandalwood. Iris adds that powdery feel. It's so refined, but I find this so sensual and so addictive. It smells like freshly bathed skin to me. Honestly, it smells like the clean skin of just the most beautiful goddess of a woman. This is what she smells like naked. Like, picture that for a second. Yeah, what I love the most about this though is that it has that sensual quality, but this is so easy to wear for day to day. You could wear this to the office. Equally, you could wear this on an evening. It would make such an incredible signature scent. I am obsessed with this. I'm also very drawn to musky fragrances as the weather gets a bit cooler. There's something about them that I just find really comforting. Next up I have Crystal Saffron from Matière Première. I've been raving about Crystal Saffron Extrait. I think that's absolutely incredible. This is the original and this fragrance is so opulent. I absolutely love it. It's really just focusing in on saffron. I love how Matière Première just focus in on one note, and then in their Extrait collection they sort of round the fragrance out a bit more, add a bit more in and amplify the original note, and I just think that's incredible. But for this original collection, this is just like a saffron dominant fragrance. The saffron here has a leathery feel. It's got a slight sweetness. It's airy yet spicy, and it truly just smells like wealth and abundance. You quite often ask me for fragrances that are gonna make you smell expensive, and this is truly one of them. Also, this will absolutely fill up a room. It is so unbelievably strong, and there's been times when I've sprayed this on and it's gone in my hair a little bit, and I've washed my hair and I can still smell it in my hair. Like, it's incredibly strong. The scent trail is beautiful. It's gonna fill up a room, and this is incredible on an evening out. It is so stunning. And I also have the hair fragrance to match. I love that Matière Première do these. I love a good hair perfume. One, because obviously it's not going to damage your hair the same way that a fragrance would, but also I just find they sit better in your hair than an actual perfume. Perfume in your hair can just smell like perfume in your hair, you know, whereas a hair fragrance just makes you smell like you've got incredible smelling hair, and I love that you can obviously match it to your perfume. Next up we have Ambre Superfluid by Les Eaux Primordiales. This is such a gorgeous, sweet, spicy, ambery fragrance. It is so perfect for autumn and winter. It's got notes of gingerbread, cinnamon pie, apple, it's got honey, there's a hint of tobacco in here, it's got a booziness from some rum, and it's just absolutely delectable. I love this. It's very delicious without being overly gourmand, which is how I like my gourmand fragrances. I don't really tend to steer towards fragrances that outright smell like food. Sometimes I do really like those fragrances, but for the most part I like a touch of delicious, just a touch, and this fragrance is the perfect balance for me, and I absolutely love, love, love it. This could easily be a signature during autumn and winter, and it is available at Harrods and Liberty. Next up we have the new Angel Phantasm from Mugler. This is such an interesting take on Angel. It's a modernised version of Angel in my opinion. This is the original patchouli that Angel has, but it's softened, the edges are sort of rounded out, and there's a creaminess in here which is really interesting. It's got a mix of tiare flower and coconut, so it almost has this sort of tropical feel to it, but it's got a density that makes it perfect for all year round wear. I really like this interpretation of Angel. I know a lot of people, when Angel Elixir launched, they were expecting sort of like a modernized version of the original. I personally love that fragrance so much. I think it is gorgeous. If you are one of the people who was expecting a modernized version of the original, this is your fragrance. It is absolutely gorgeous and definitely worth checking out. Next up I have Tabac Nomad from Ubigon. This fragrance is so stunning, and if you enjoy tobacco fragrances, you need to check this out if you haven't already. It's a dry, sweet tobacco. It's got this sort of sweet smokiness, which is just stunning. This is tobacco, this is tonka bean, vanilla. There's some spicy, airy saffron in here. It's got a touch of leather. It is so incredibly smooth and well blended, very elegant, so perfect for the cooler weather, and I absolutely love this. If you like Dior Tabaccola, I would highly recommend that you check out this fragrance because it sits in the same sort of family. And it's not the same, but I feel like if you like one of them, you will like the other. And in my opinion, Tabac Nomad is much higher quality. It's just so much better in my opinion. Next up I have Rania J Musk Moshes. This is not a new fragrance to my collection, but it is a new bottle because I ran out of my 50ml, so I have a new one. This is such a stunning musky fragrance. It has this sweet, fluffy quality to it. It is just beautiful. It's got a fruitiness. I think it's got either blackcurrant or blackberry in here. I think it's blackcurrant. It's got a gorgeous creamy sandalwood, and it smells cozy and comforting and sweet, but also clean. And I absolutely adore this fragrance. It's one of my favourite musk fragrances ever, and it's so easy to wear all year round as well, day or night. Again, this would make an incredible signature scent. Next up, I recently bought Oud Rosewood from Dior. This is a fragrance that whenever I pass Dior, I always spray it, and I have a few favourites from Dior, and I've never picked this up before because I do have a lot of oud fragrances, and I've got lots of different types of oud as well, and I always come back to this one, and I really love it, and I think it's a very versatile, easy to wear oud fragrance. I also think that if you're not very well acquainted with proper like oud fragrances, you know, like those Middle Eastern oud fragrances, then I would recommend starting with this because it is just the most gorgeous woody, deep, opulent fragrance. It has a raspberry note and a quince note, so it's got this fruitiness. It's got a suede-like leather quality, and it just smells so incredibly refined and luxurious. I love that it has a freshness to it as well. I love Oud Isfahan from Dior, and you guys know I'm half Persian, so I really want that fragrance in my collection, but it just is such a nighttime fragrance for me, and I just don't know how much I would actually wear it, whereas I find Oud Rosewood a lot more wearable. So I picked this one up for now, but I absolutely adore this. I think it's such an incredible fragrance and I'm very happy to have it in my collection. Next up we have Yvonne Extrait from Orme. This is an absolutely stunning fragrance. They recently launched Toy 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 in an Extrait version and Yvonne. Yvonne is inspired by classic perfumery, so it's got that chypre sort of DNA. This focuses in on patchouli. It's got a fruity quality though. It's got a plum note, which is so beautiful. It's rounded out by some white florals and it's just very classy, very sophisticated. Again, you could wear this as a signature scent and it just smells so feminine, so put together. I adore this fragrance. The Extrait bottle and the original bottle are exactly the same. The only difference is it says Extrait de Parfum, so just be careful with that one, but I absolutely adore this launch from Orme. I think it's incredible. Next I have Lost and Found by Noise. This is such a gorgeous, clean, citrusy, woody skin scent. It's got a sort of fruitiness, especially in the opening. There's some rhubarb and raspberry in here. It's also got a jasmine note, there's cedar in here, some pink pepper. Something about this gives me a musky feel as well, even though musk is not listed in the notes. It just smells fresh, clean, and like it could just be your smell, you know? This just smells like a very good looking, gorgeous person, like their natural scent. It kind of smells like, imagine if you're wearing your sexy boyfriend's sweater. That is the vibe that this gives me and I absolutely love it. Next up I have L'Entité Absolue from Givenchy. So this is their newest launch and I think it fits perfectly into the L'Entité line. It just offers something a bit different. So it takes that white floral DNA, but the sweetness is sort of dialed back. They've added a lavender note and tobacco absolute, which just kind of gives the fragrance more of a unisex feel. It has a slightly aromatic quality to it and I really like this. I've got to say, I still think my favourite fragrance from the L'Entité line is the Rouge Ultime. I still think that has got to be my favourite. I love that so much. But I do think that this is an incredible take on L'Entité, and if you want a fragrance that has that DNA but isn't as sweet or is maybe a bit more unisex, then definitely check this one out. Next up, the newest launch from Bon Parfumer, Iris Cartagena 502, is just such a stunning fragrance. This was an instant love for me. You guys know how much I love iris in my fragrances, and this is iris, papyrus, cacao, it's got sugarcane, there's vanilla, there's coffee, there's rum. Like, there's so much going on in this fragrance, but it is blended so beautifully. I mentioned this over on TikTok, but the way the iris and the cacao blend together just gives the fragrance a sort of powdered chocolatey feel. It's absolutely stunning, and this has that sugary crystallized sweetness, but it has a lot of depth as well. It's got a woody feel to it. It's so refined. It's a gourmand, but it's not overly gourmand, and I just absolutely adore this. If you like your iris fragrances, definitely check this out. It's got this powdery iris, a chocolatey quality, a little bit of booziness, just a lot of depth, a woody feel. It's just incredible. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Like I said, I will link all of these fragrances in the description box below for you, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a cheeky little thumbs up if you did, and hopefully I'll catch you in my next one. Bye.